Jeremy, bringing you in here, what is the legal strategy if he were to plead guilty to these federal stalking charges? What is the strategy for Mangione's team?
It's pretty straightforward. Again, federally, this dual sovereignty rule allows these two competing, or not necessarily competing, two jurisdictional cases to proceed. But New York is strict, it's tight, it's different. It says you can't do that when it stems from the underlying same offense, same criminal transaction. And these are different charges and different elements to a certain extent. One's, again, we know are murder charges, and the other relates to stalking. But if we as the defense can say, you made that allocution, you have pleaded, and now you have done this in federal court, you've knocked out the state case, and now I'm not going to Attica. I'm not going to Sing Sing. I'm going to be in federal custody, even if it's still potentially my life incarceration.
So this is an attempt by his legal team to get the best possible outcome for Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, why are we going to try two cases? You know, there was a time, if you recall, that Judge Caro, who's a state judge, said, I will entertain this application about there being a double jeopardy issue, but it's not ripe right now. There's no plea. This gets them to that point. This avoids two trials.
Why are there two cases? Why are there two separate prosecutions of this man?
I'm so glad you're asking me that question, because I think there absolutely, unequivocally should not be. The federal government has no business in this case. It may ruffle feathers and it may sound, well, why are you saying that? I think the federal government, what we call big-footed, if that's a term of art that's used to say basically they came in and took from the state this case, which is a murder case, which murder cases are generally handled by the state. And we don't see the Southern District routinely going after bad actors who stalk people across state lines, for example, domestic violence cases, which these types of stalking charges are ripe for and great for, and regularly prosecuting domestic abusers who kill women across state lines with firearms. You see them prosecuted in the state. We saw what happened when Mangione came back to New York, and it was like he was landing on an aircraft carrier, and this was some declaration, and the federal government scooped him up. This is really ego-driven. I hate to say it, and what's lost here is Brian Thompson's death. It should be the main focus, and his family. And that was being handled by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
A father of two, an Iowa native who, really from a small town in Iowa, who went on to run United Healthcare and then became sort of the face of this horrible crime. Often we just talk about Luigi Mangione,
right,
not Brian Thompson. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much. We're going to talk to you again. We're going to continue to follow this over the next couple of hours. Thanks, Jeremy. We've got Sam Brock heading into the courtroom, as you can see there.